Good evening, happy Boxing Day. I'm Nikki Shilingi and we're here live on New Vision TV News and on Urban TV. And starting our bulletin tonight, the coordinator of Operation Wealth Creation, General Salim Saleh, has discussed Tobacco Valley addition with Chinese investors. This was after the opening of the Jindi company in Kapeka Industrial Park, which in it construction costed $11 million.
Chinese investors discussed tobacco crisis, Salim Saleh. He told the investors at Kapeka Industrial Park in Nakaseke district that several tobacco farmers in LuwEERO and beyond were stuck with nobody to buy their tobacco. All the tobacco farmers in LuwEERO are now stuck with their tobacco. There is nobody to buy it. Therefore, I want a special solution for that problem today, Saleh said. So I want us to have a discussion on setting up a tobacco processing industry, he added. This was shortly after he launched a spades factory at the industrial park. He urged the Chinese to immediately establish a cigarettes factory at the industrial park. This, he said, will provide market to the tobacco farmers. I want you to help me to change tobacco into cigarettes. That is a priority for me of now. Please help me because the cigarettes we are smoking here are being imported from outside, he said. Recently, over 7,000 tobacco farmers in the LuwEERO region turned to government to demand for pay of their tobacco which they allegedly supplied to Continental Tobacco Uganda. The farmers from the districts of Hoima, Chikuwe, Masindi and Kiryandongo claimed that between June and December last year supplied the company tobacco worth 12 billion shillings, but to date they have never been paid. The group under the umbrella association LuwEERO Tobacco Growers has since petitioned President Yoweri Museveni and Parliament to intervene and ensure they are paid. Saleh said the new factory see Uganda stop importing spades soon. Uganda at our age, we should not be importing spades. He urged agriculture companies to link up with the commercial farmers who produce industrial raw materials for a good value chain. I'm also very happy that very many people are starting to support industrialization. We should also link up with the government agencies and the banks which deal with agriculture products, Saleh said. Saleh thanked the Chinese for supporting Uganda's industrial revolution. Industrialization is Uganda's second revolution. The first revolution was the liberalization war, he said. Saleh urged both the investors and the local people in the industrial park to learn Swahili and use it as a common language in the industrial park. According to the general manager of Jindi Agriculture Science and Technology Development Uganda Limited, Owen Lee disclosed that the spades factory will be able to produce 15,000 spades every day. He commended government for putting in place conducive environment for investment, stressing that the factory will employ several Ugandans for both technical and casual jobs. Rosemary Namayanja, the National Resistance Movement treasurer, disclosed that in the next 1 year, government will invest 2.1 trillion shillings in the industrial park. This factory joins the other 20 which have already given our people jobs, and they have added on the things Uganda exports. For instance, Goodwill factory produces 1,000 tons of tails which are also widely exported, Namayanja said. She appealed on the over 2,000 local people already employed in the industrial park to work hard and demonstrate good character and discipline to investors. Story compiled by Nelson Chiver for New Vision TV.
Moving on, it is rather sad news in ASWA River region as 3 children were burnt to death on Christmas Day and were among the 5 deaths reported to police in the ASWA River region. According to ASWA Police PRO Jimmy Patrick Okema, the children aged 7, 3, and 2 had been left alone in the house while their parents went to the trading center for Christmas celebrations at Latanywa Trading Center in Padea district. These are the details.
5 died on Christmas Day in the ASWA River region. Preliminary report by the police in the 8 districts of ASWA River region indicate that 5 people, including 3 children who were mysteriously burnt to death in their house in Padera district, are people who died on Christmas Day.
It's coming at the yesterday's celebration of Christmas. We would like to confirm that in ASWA region, the report we have at hand, we have registered 5 death cases.
The ASWA Police Public Relations Officer Jimmy Patrick Okema says the children aged 7, 3 and 2 were left unattended in the house at night while their parents went for Christmas celebrations at Latanya Trading Center.
These three kids, Achayo Fiona, 7 years old, Anena Patricia, 3 years old, and Latira Priscilla, 2 years old. It is also alleged that both parents went to a trading center, leaving the children unattended too, and only to return at night at around 4, found their house burned with the children in.
Sitting at his office at the police headquarters in GULU town, the police public relations officer noted that the parents, Nokrash Innocent and Atenia Scovia, came back home drunk at around 4 a.m. and remained drunk until early morning of Boxing Day as police prepared to take them to record statements.
In fact, even this morning when our team went to the scene, they are still drunk up to now. So it is quite unfortunate, and this is one of the core appeal that we've been making to members of the public, that it is very absurd to leave your children inside the house unattended to, and you go and have fun outside. It's not fair. So anything can happen. So the father, Nokraj Innocent, and Atenyo Scovia, they're still at the scene, but of course they're still drunk. And I know at an appropriate time, the officers in charge of the area, they will take a step and see that we have these people to make statement with us at the station.
The other 2 deaths recorded in the region are from Lamu district, where a sudden death of 42-year-old Okot Selisha was reported.
Morning, he woke up very well, and all the family members really wish him a Merry Christmas. But to their dismay, or later in the evening at around 4, he was discovered dead in a sitting position just under the tree within his compound, and of course was found with some whitish substances in his hand and even in the pocket, and I think was taking warege. So the scene was visited, body has been taken to Agoro Health Center 3, where we expect postmortem to be done to confirm whether it was the alcohol or maybe there was some chemical substance in the alcohol, something like that we need to understand.
And a fatal accident in Kalongo in Agango district claimed the life of 35-year-old Odera Bosque.
This happened at around 2300 hours yesterday, just opposite Kokil Primary School, along Kalongo by Mall Road, where one Odera Bosco, 35 years old, while walking on the road, he was knocked by Okera Michael, and Okera was riding motorcycle registration number UEP 844N, and the victim was immediately picked and rushed to Kalongo Hospital, where late at around 1 he was pronounced dead. The scene we visited, the suspect who was riding the motorcycle is also on the run. However, we are calling upon members of the community in that area to join hands with the police so that this man is apprehended. And of course,
report compiled by Joseph Omagor for New Vision TV.
Moving on, 37 babies were born in GULU's 2 main hospitals on Christmas Day. GULU Referral Hospital received a total of 16 babies, all born normally, while 1 baby out of 21 received at St. Mary's Hospital, Lakor, was born using a cesarean section. There were no twins born on Christmas Day.
It was joy for several parents in GULU as they received their own bundles of joy on Christmas Day. At the private wing at St. Mary's Hospital, Lakor, Angela has overcome postnatal pain to sing Christmas songs with her baby boy in her arms.
Born is the King of Israel.
Angela expressed her excitement as she remembered that her labor pains did not last long.
It was a normal birth. Yeah, and I came at around 11, and at 1, I already gave him out. So I'm so grateful that with the birth of Jesus, it didn't trouble me a lot. Just 2 hours of birth, yeah.
Her baby is among 21 babies born on Christmas at the facility. The maternity in charge, Sister Joyce Anena, confirmed that only one delivery was completed using a cesarean section.
We had a total of 21 deliveries. 10 were boys, 11 were girls. Then those one who delivered normally were 20. Then one mother went cesarean section. This is the mother who went cesarean section. She's the only one who was Caesar's yesterday.
The other 16 babies were delivered at GULU Regional Referral Hospital with 9 boys and 7 girls, all born normally. Caught up with Fred Okello in the corridors, he thinks it is a blessing having his son born on the same day as Jesus Christ.
You know, to me, it's a dream come true. It's a blessing having a child on a Christmas day. Quite memorable, you know, very significant, because not many produce on a Christmas day. So I'm a father on a Christmas day. That's really interesting.
Report by Joseph Omagor for New Vision TV.
Security agencies arrested 4 suspects in connection to the murder and aggravated robbery of a Chinese national fan, Ziping, who was murdered from his residence in Mbuya 2, Nakao Division, in Kampala on December 20th, 2019. Charles has the details.
4 arrested over murder. The 4 suspects were arrested from Jinja district where they were hiding. Security sources revealed that the suspects were arrested after police tracked down the deceased's phone, which they had reportedly stolen on the day they murdered him. The suspects, 22-year-old Joshua Nsereko, 25-year-old Emmanuel Adama, and 21-year-old Dan Ngowi reportedly confessed to participating in the killing. Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesperson Patrick Onyango also confirmed that police had recovered exhibits which included mobile phones belonging to the deceased which were in their possession. Efforts are underway to arrest the remaining suspect, one Shamim, who is still at large, Onyango stated. He noted that the suspects have been charged with murder and aggravated robbery on case number CRB 967/19 of Ginger Road Police Station and was detained in the same station. Onyango commended the task teams who participated in this successful operation. Police also recorded statements from Zhang Chimu, the only eyewitness who was on the scene on the night Fan was murdered. Zhang noted that he had visited Fan and after the two had supper, he allocated him a room to sleep. According to Zhang's statement, 3 men and a woman raided their home in Mbuya 2 zone at around 2 a.m. on Friday night. The 4 broke into the house, tied Fan with ropes, beat him while demanding that he reveals where he had put money and some items not yet known. Zhang noted that he was also beaten and locked in his room by the attackers, but he managed to clearly see the faces of some of the attackers whom he can identify if paraded before him. He noted that he used his teeth to free himself and later rushed to the police, where he reported the incident. By the time the police reached the scene, Fan was already dead and the suspects had taken the unknown items. Story compiled by Charles Etkuri for New Vision TV.
Let's take a short commercial break, and when we return, we have much more news for you. Welcome back from that short commercial break. Moving on happier news. The patrons at the wild side of Entebbe will be treated to a rare encounter with 2 bouncing cubs that were born on Christmas Day. The twins were birthed by a lioness known as Mutagambwa. The mother of the twins was named after the former Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, the late Maria Mutagambwa. Gerald Tenua compiled the report.
Eric Ntaluwa, the spokesperson of the Uganda Wildlife Education Center, also known as ZOO, said the cubs were born in the wee hours of Christmas Day. Mutagamba has proved to be a good mother and she is looking after the cubs. This is the second litter for the 7-year Mutagamba. Her first litter 2 years ago included 3 cubs, namely Zuri, Paradise and Africa, according to Ntaluwa. They are all alive and well at the Wildlife Education Center. The birth of the twin cubs brings the total number of lions at the Uganda Wildlife Education Center to 9. The cubs were fathered by Letama, a lion who perished after a road accident between Kampala and Fort Portal last year. Mutagamba was produced by 13-year-old Biese and was fathered by the late Kibonge. The gender of the cubs has not been established by the caregivers and the vets because the mother cannot allow any intrusion. We cannot tell the sex because the mother is very protective and does not allow intrusion, said Ntaluwa. The cubs are vulnerable and they are protected by the lionesses, according to Ntaluwa, and do not want intrusion. Ntaluwa added, "We respect that and they will hide their cubs for 6 to 8 weeks." Although the cubs are still in seclusion, Ntaluwa said they were treating the patrons at the Wildlife Education Center to noises. "They are playful, they are making the noises," he said, adding that they will unveil them to the public in the coming 2 months after approval by the vets. Asked about the measures put in place to avoid the high mortality rates, James Watua, a vet at the center, said the pride at the center is not exposed to many risk factors compared to prides living in the wild. The executive director of the Wildlife Education Center said this was the first time animals at the center have produced on Christmas Day. "This is a Christmas gift for us at the center and the conservation fraternity," said Dr. James Msingzi, the head of Uganda Wildlife Education Center. The numbers are declining in the protected areas and a plan is being worked out with the Uganda Wildlife Authority to reintroduce some into the wild. This, according to Msingzi, will be done following guidelines of the World Conservation Union. The names given to the animals depend on circumstances. Some are named after personalities and sponsors. Being born on Christmas Day, according to Msingzi, the cubs will take Emmanuel and Manuela along other names and depending on their gender. At the moment, we have not established their sexes. Msingzi said they respect the natural instinct of the mother and they cannot remove the cubs for the sake of determining their sex.
While in LUWEERO district in grappling with overwhelming cases of malaria infection registered this year 2019, last year, over 27,000 cases of malaria were recorded in district and a lot of interventions have been done to curb the advice, but more still needs to be done. These are the details.
Malaria cases overwhelm LUWEERO district. The LUWEERO District Health Officer, Dr. Innocent Nkonwa, in an interview with the New Vision TV, disclosed that this year, 2019, more patients from various health centers LUWEERO have been diagnosed with malaria cases, causing a significant negative impact on the economy of Uganda due to loss of workdays because of sickness, decreased productivity, and decreased school attendance. Nkonwa attributed the malaria outbreak to climate change. Between June to date, the district has seen an increase in malaria cases compared to last year. Prolonged intermittent rains in various parts of the country that have lasted till August have contributed to the increase of malaria. Also, reduced mosquito net ownership in youth due to the aging of nets distributed in 2017 and 2018, said Nkonwe. This was disclosed on Monday during a 3-day health camp where over 3,000 patients received free treatment at Kichusa Health Center, LUWEERO District. The medical camp, organized by Operation One Project, an organization that champions the rights of malaria, urinary tract infections, HIV testing and counseling, testing and treatment, and were offered general medication. The camp also offered treatment of the eyes and checkups, non-communicable diseases including diabetes, hypertension, hepatitis and cervical cancer checkups, dental services, hepatitis B, typhoid, among others. The in-charge of Kichusa Health Center 3 say the health facility statistics for July show that 62 children below 4 years were found with malaria out of the tested 89, while 384 people above 5 years had malaria out of 529 patients tested in the facility. The Executive Director, Operation One Project, Alex Ray Lubega, a Ugandan based in California, said the organization is focused on making a difference in the lives of children and other struggling people generally. Lubega said that this has been made possible through the support from other Ugandans in the diaspora, who include the NRM Diaspora Chairman, Haji Abewa Lusimbi, iCare Foundation CEO, Isaac Chigozi, Mrs. Rebecca Luwanga, among others. Lubega revealed that the foundation decided to tackle one of the objectives this year. I understand the challenges that my people face, especially when it comes to the health stand. A lot of people cannot afford to seek out medical treatment because of poverty and other challenges, including access to a health center, and that is the reason as to why we have decided to come up with a medical camp in the short run, Lubega said. Lubega noted that during the camp, they have made sure that everybody that was treated was given medicine for at least a full dose and have referred cases that could not be handled to the different hospitals in the country. Our health sector as a country is still lagging behind, and we thought of how we could extend the services that are needed to our people, hence coming up with the camp, Lubega said. He advised that all Ugandans and members of the diaspora should join hands and sensitize Ugandans on the different preventive measures that can be used to avoid diseases, since prevention is better than cure. Isaac Chigozi, the Executive Director, iCare Foundation, said the doctors have been able to test and treat over 8 patients of the different eye infections. We have as well been able to refer other patients of cases that we would not handle to other hospitals. Majority of the cases that we registered were due to hygiene problems. We have advised them to always wash their hands with clean water and avoid touching their eyes with dirty hands, Chigozi said. According to Dr. Claire Kwagala, the team leader of physicians at the camp, majority of the patients that were received were diagnosed and treated with malaria and typhoid. They were given mosquito nets as well as basic treatment. We have been able to offer the best medication and basic laboratory tests. Almost every household had a patient suffering from malaria. We have received families which have more than 5 children suffering from malaria with temperatures as high as 40 degrees. Kwagala said. Kwagala added that more still needs to be done in sensitizing the masses on the causes of malaria, treatment as well as prevention. Story compiled by Abi Ramadan and Paul Chiuwa for New Vision TV.
Thank you for being a great audience. Once again, I'm Nikki Shilingi and you've been watching New Vision TV, and we continue to wish you a good Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Before we leave you, let's leave you with a fact file. Good night.